Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
To conquer, to survive.
What is happening, everybody? Welcome. Carolyn sings. I do the introduction. It's just how we get it done here. But what is happening, everybody? My name is Sebastian Rusk, and this is the Social Media Suck Show. Got my trusty co-host this week and lovely guest, Miss Carolyn Rim. Give it up for Carolyn Rim. What's happening, girl?
Woo! I'm cheering for myself.
So this came on this morning in the gym. So timely because I did not want to be at the gym.
I love that song. Listen, I can get gangster with you any day of the week, all right?
You're from Philly.
I am from Philly. You guys know it. I'm that Philly girl.
Absolutely. So you and I met through social media. I think it was through, you posted a video, a picture. I blame Grateful Tony for us meeting.
Yes, and, Grateful Tony, yes.
Yes, Grateful Tony. She'll be on the show in the next few weeks here, actually. So if Grateful Tony's watching, Grateful Tony, you are awesome, and I'm grateful for you. And I still haven't figured out what gumption is, but I do send you a picture of the gumption beer every time I see it in the grocery store.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
So you and I had a little impromptu chit chat on Saturday afternoon, just because when the ideas are flowing and going, and the desire to connect even more with people that we meet online happens. We end up on the phone on a Saturday afternoon, and you shared a little bit of your story with me. For those of you just joining us, for those of you not knowing what in the world is going on here, and you just clicked join and you jumped in the show. My name is Sebastian Rusk. I am a social media strategist. I wrote a book called Social Media Sucks If You Don't Know What You're Doing. We do this each and every week here on Tuesdays at 1 p.m. I'm actually on the road right now in Long Beach, California for the week with my friends at Business Networking International. That's short for that's long for BNI. BNI Miami-Dade is a client of my agencies, and they brought us out to my agency. On our big words here, brought us out to Long Beach for the global conference. So I'm out here rubbing shoulders, shaking hands, kissing babies with about 750 global leaders for BNI. So an exciting week to say the least. Got a chance to meet Dr. Ivan Misner last night. In fact, I saw him on a random blab the other day, and I was very impressed that he made it onto Blab. He's embracing new technology. And he said, Sebastian, I like it a lot more than Google Hangouts. I said, yeah, you and everybody else. So it's really cool. I'm posted up in a hotel room here and trying to get some good lighting, some good audio going, keep the show going. The trick to all this stuff is consistency, people. If you want to start a show, you're looking for ideas for a show, the trick is to be able to be consistent and strategic with your guests. You've got to have good content. You've got to have a guest that have a following and a tribe. That's the goal. So that's why
my tribe is on.
Absolutely on like Donkey Kong. So that's how I ended up with this little rock star right here. Did I point the right way? I think so.
Yeah, I think you did.
this little rock star right here. So you and I connected probably 3 weeks ago. So we're pretty much strangers, but we're besties all at the same time. Isn't that nuts?
He talks just about as fast as I do, I think. What do you guys think? Like a little bit. I might talk a little bit faster, but I can keep up with this guy. That is for sure. And on Saturday, it's funny. I was talking to him, and really, I can't, I can't really, be on here and not share my story with where I started with you guys. So with Sebastian's
let's just get started right with that, because it's such a great story. And by show of type of 1 or a 2 in there. 1, if you're familiar with Anthony Robbins. 2, if you don't know who he is. And if you don't know who he is, then, well, we're about to tell you what's up. She's got an incredible story. I've had 2 incredible experiences with Tony. Great friends with his son, Jarek, and just a huge fan of just the Robbins clan in general. So let's kick things off. Tell us about that incredible story of you making it to UPW and ending up in the foreign translation room.
Yes. Okay. Yes. So I'm going to try to make this really quick. I have so many stories that I could share of the past year, but first I just need to paint the picture of where I was, because I don't know. And that's right. Tony Robbins does live in Florida right now. So I don't know where you are in your life right now, but I know if you're listening to this blab, you want a positive energy, because the only people I bring into my reality are positive people who want to make an impact in the world and make a difference in their life, even if it's just your family and the people surrounding you. So a year ago, I was not in that space. A year ago, I just turned 30. I was sitting in a cube. I had been for the past 10 years. Okay. I was 30 years old. I thought I was going to have to be in a cube for 10 years for the rest of my life. And I remember that I was looking up bridges to jump off of. Like, I joked with my girlfriend. I was like, hey, can you meet me at the Cherry Hill Bridge? I'll bring the lipstick. Like, seriously, like, I wanted to die. It was bad.
You were waking up and you're like, I don't know if I want to slice my wrist or go get a manicure.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly. I was so messed up in my mind with my beliefs and what I wanted. I had no passions. I had no, right? And so what happened was, by sheer grace, I type in the name Tony Robbins, right? And basically what happens is this man comes up, and I see him on this video. It was like a 2-minute video, and he's banging his chest and people are jumping up and down. And instantly I decided that I was going to go see this man. I didn't care when it was. I didn't care how much it cost. I didn't care. I was going to see him. So I had $36 in my bank account, and I called the lady and I'm like, hi, I'd like a front row seat to Tony Robbins. And she's like, sure, that's $3,000. And I was like, all right, I'll call you right back. So I didn't call anyone, right? I didn't call my dad. I didn't call my husband at the time. I didn't call anyone. I didn't want anyone to try to talk me out of this decision. I called my bank, and even though, you know, my credit was still pretty good, even though I only had $36 in the bank, I still paid all my bills and stuff for the most part. And so basically they gave me a $5,000 loan. I took out a $5,000 personal loan, and I decided for the first time in my life to listen to my intuition. I decided for the first time in my life to just go for it, man. And I invested the $5,000 in myself. And I called the lady back and I said, book the ticket. So I was so excited. 1 week I was going to go out to Dallas.
Hold that thought, because you were in a dark spot. And when you're in a dark spot and we're inside our own head, in fact, I just posted something this morning. We are confined by the walls that we build ourselves. And sometimes those walls are so tall and we box ourselves in and are so dark. What was the shift? What was the, I mean, was it searching for Tony and him popping up?
Deciding. It was deciding to go see him. It was making a decision.
But it's tough to decide when you're in a dark spot. Would you agree?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to invest in yourself and to believe in yourself enough to make that decision. I had to trust myself, because do you know how much backlash I received from my family and my husband at the time? They accosted me. They said, how could you? You don't have the money to spend on this. This is ridiculous. You know, it's 1 week from where you're going. I got so much backlash, right? And so I went though, okay? Day 1, walk over fire. Day 2, quit smoking after 15 years of a pack and a half of Newport box cigarettes a day. Day 4, I realized I have to get to this man, right? Because I remember the lady saying that there's a ticket for $500 in general seating. Sure. I could have just spent $500, but I'm anything but general, right? Like when she said general or diamond premier, I was like, diamond premier, no question, regardless if I can afford it or not, I'm going to find a way. Sure. It's never a lack of resources. It's always a lack of resourcefulness. And so I remember it was 10 minutes before I had to leave. And, I wrote on a piece of paper, Ready, Set, Mentored Me, and I crumpled it up in my hand and I charged the stage. And, I remember Tony Robbins had 7 bodyguards, and I didn't think I could take 7 bodyguards, but I knew that I could take 3. And Joseph McClinton only had 3, right? So I'll never forget the sheer panicky look of the security guard's face. Like he didn't know if he was going to punch me in the face or what was going to happen, but I knew I wrote on that piece of paper, Ready, Set, Mentor Me. And I was like, I'm getting this to that guy, whether he likes it or not. And I remember jumping on him, and Joseph ends up taking the paper, and he calls me like a week later and he says, we're going to mentor you, but you got to do us a favor. And I was like, anything, name it. And he said, you got to send the elevator back down when you get to the top. And I said, I'll do you one better. I was like, I'll keep my doors open on the way up. And then a month, and I'll be quick, 2 more minutes, right? Because I can just wrap this puppy up like a Christmas present, right? Like a transformation, like a burrito, right? Like a little burrito. And so a month later, I get back from Dallas. A month later, my husband tells me I'm not the same woman that came home from Dallas. I changed too much. He doesn't like who I am. He doesn't like my big dreams. He says I'm a wife. I work 9 to 5, and that's it. That's all I do. I'm not a motivational speaker. I don't want, yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Well, I like begged, right? Because come on, let's get serious. It's hard. Like, It's hard when you love someone and they're treating you that way, but you're stuck in this rinse and repeat cycle of, feelings. So
right.
Carolyn ran for president. Oh, well, thank you. Don't mind if I do.
That's my sister, Carolyn.
Oh, we'll have to talk to her later. So basically, what happened was Tony Robbins somehow sees this post on Facebook that I post. I say, I'm really scared. My husband just left me. You know, I begged him to stay, but I know it's the right decision for him to let him go. And somehow he, out of sheer divine grace, he sees this message and he comments on it. I still have the picture of it. And he says, Dear Carolyn, it's always darkest before dawn. It's always darkest before dawn. And what's next is always better. He said, please come to my next seminar as my guest. So I am like right in the energy weave, right? I'm like, oh my God, Tony Robbins.
So you went to Dallas, then you commented and connected with Tony. In this case, social media does not suck. And then he invited you to go to New Jersey.
Yes, he invited me to go to New Jersey. And I'll never forget, like, I remember being at, my desk. Like, I worked at a desk at that time, and I, like, jumped up, and I was like, oh, my God, Tony Robbins just commented on my post. Like, it was like the most amazing thing that's ever happened to me. And so, I start out on this journey. It's March 2nd in Philadelphia. If anyone lives near Philadelphia, there was a huge blizzard March 2nd, like large blizzard, like biggest blizzard ever, pretty much. Not ever, but I start out at 9:30, 9:45, I get a flat tire, I hit a pole, and I'm sitting on the side of the road, and I call my ex, and I said, please let me borrow your car. And he said, no, it's a sign you shouldn't go to this stupid event. And I was like, maybe it's a sign that you just, no, you're stupid. No, I was like, maybe it's a sign that you just don't give up at every little bump in the road, right? Like, maybe that's the sign. And sure. So I remember taking a picture of my broken down car and me on the side of the road. And I said, come hell or high water, Tony Robbins, I will be at UPW. And I post it, not thinking Tony's watching me, not thinking that he'll see this post. And I remember, 6 hours later, I call my sister, I get the minivan, I drive 6 hours, takes me 6 hours to get there. I walk in, with the force of the universe behind me. I'm so excited I'm there. I walk to the front, I was like, hi. I'm here to be Tony Robbins' special friend and guest. To the front, please. And the woman says, oh, she's like, that's a problem. She's like, we don't have you on the list. She's like, really? That's only for like special people, like celebrities and stuff.
Do you have any idea how special I am?
No, I was like, oh, only for special people. I was like, okay. I was like, so I guess, what do I do now? And she's like, well, I can put you in Power Pavilion 2. And I had no idea what Power Pavilion 2 was. I was so disappointed. She walks me to a room where there's about 30 people in there. Tony Robbins isn't even in there. There's just these TV screens and everybody's got headphones on. Why? Because no one can speak English. Everybody speaks a different language, right?
Hey, Carolyn, hold on a second. We're getting feedback that there's a little bit of a delay on your end.
Okay, is there a delay? All right, let me see here.
They've been a little glitchy. If you can maybe jump right back in.
Okay, let me see here. Actually,
it's like a 3-second delay, and I can hear you in real time, but your lips are like 3 seconds behind.
Okay, my lips are 3 seconds behind. So
Are you on your phone or your computer?
I'm about to get on my phone because it's probably better, don't you think?
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna kick you out, and then I'm gonna bring you back in.
Okay.
Delayed video. Yes, I hate delayed video. It drives me crazy. Hold that thought. Please pause for station identification. Okay, there we go. So I love just stopping in the middle of the story because we've got technical difficulties, but hey, that's what we do here. If you're just joining us, I see we've had several people join the room literally from all around the world. My name's Sebastian Rusk, and I'm the host of the Social Media Suck Show. We do this each and every week at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My lovely co-host and guest this week, the rock star herself, Carolyn Rem, is going to be rejoining us in just a second here. We've had some technical difficulties, but not very often does that happen here on Blab, thankfully. If you guys haven't had a chance to tell a little bird there on your left-hand side, you click Tell a Little Bird. That'll tweet a quick message out to all your followers and get them in the party here. And you can also, new edition just added as of last week or this week, I think, you can tell your aunt, which pretty much means you can tell everyone you know on Facebook. Big shout out to some peeps I see in here. We've got Stephen Cagiano is in the house. What's up, brother? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Noel's in the house. Noel, how you doing? How you been? Got my sister in the house. I mean, it's not hard to get your family into these things, but in any event, I'll take what I can get, right? Let's see here. The always entertaining comment section from Samantha Lee, aka What the Junk One. What the Junk One. It's saying the link isn't valid. Wow. Oh, you know why? Because it's locked. Try again. There we go. Oops. I can't join the show. I'm like, I don't know why. Probably because I locked the seat. Hey, cheers to you as well, Stephen. Good to see you, buddy. All right, let's see if we're back in real time. Real time. There we go.
Okay, can you guys see and hear me okay? I'm turning off my Wi-Fi so you guys can just get it from my phone as well.
There we go. Now the smile and the sound are in sync.
They're in sync. That's what we want. I'm sorry if the video pauses a little bit. I'm trying to log on for my phone.
No, you're good. You're perfect right now. You're absolutely perfect right now. Okay, cool. So you get to Tony Robbins and you said, hi, I'm here. I'm supposed to meet Tony Robbins. I need to be in the front row. They're like, not so much. And they brought you to the overflow room is what I would refer to it as. Bunch of TVs and headsets. And
nobody speaks English. Yeah, nobody spoke English.
Sounds like Miami.
Yeah. So I get in there and I'm sitting down and I just remember we're talking about gratefulness, right, guys? Like, so I remember being grateful in that moment. It was so hard to be grateful because I was so disappointed. Sure. But like I had to have some gratitude. I was there, right? I was with people who wanted to be something more than that. And so I remember Tony Robbins coming out on stage and 7,000 people standing up, not next to me, in the room next to me, though. And so they're standing up, they're cheering for Tony Robbins. I see him on the screen. And the first things out of his mouth, the first thing is there's a woman here who knows how to make things a must in her life. She got a flat tire. She got into an accident. She hit a pole. And she called a friend for help. And they said, no, it's a sign. No, it's a sign that, you shouldn't go to that stupid event. And she said, no, it's a sign you don't give up at every little bump in the road. Please, everybody stand up and give Carolyn Rim a round of applause. And he posts my name and my picture on the screen for 7,000 people to see. And even the people that didn't speak English are like, oh my God, that is you. That is you. And I'm like, yes, that is me.
That's you.
That is me. Yeah, I'm like, that is me. Yes, that's me. And so like at that moment, oh my God, this is so funny that someone just posted a picture in the comments.
That's amazing, Sam. Nice work. Well played, yes. There, Sam. Well played.
So well played, sir. And so basically, I decide, right, guys? Like when you decide something, when you
make a decision, yeah, 100%.
Dude, I'm telling you, the universe supports you when you make a decision in your mind just to do it. And I decided that I was going to walk up with so much certainty to the front row that they weren't going to say a damn thing to me. I remember making that decision.
Or I'm meeting Tony.
Yeah, exactly. They're either going to throw me backstage in a cell or the police are going to come or something's going to happen. I probably would have liked that if they threw me back in the cell. No, I'm just kidding. So basically, I make my move. I walk up to the front row, and I lock eyes with this mammoth man called Tony Robbins himself.
He is mammoth.
Dude, he's mammoth. He's so tall, but he's so cool, right? And so he looks down at me, he blows me a kiss, and he tells me to sit down in the front row next to Hugh Jackman. Wolverine! I sat down. I remember sitting down and I looked at his name tag and it said Mike Smith, and I was like, "You don't fool me, sir. You're Wolverine." and he just started laughing. He said, "You don't fool me. You're Carolyn Rim." I was like, "Oh my God!"
That is fantastic.
I was like, yes. So I just believed, right? You just gotta believe.
Well, you're up there in the front row. That's not VIP. That's actually platinum partnership. So these people are paying
No, it's not platinum. It's special. It's the Tony family friends section. Like you need a blue lanyard. Like you can't buy that ticket.
That's where Pitbull sits.
Exactly. That's where Pitbull. That's where Hugh Jackman. That's where Oprah sat. This is the section where it's just like right next to the stage. Like there's a bunch of bodyguards.
You get to walk on fire. You get to walk on fire. You get to walk on fire.
And so basically it was just a really incredible experience. Wolverine is my man crush. He's my man crush too. No, but clearly I just was so grateful at that moment. And sure. I remember Tony like coming over to me during the whole event and just really talking to me, like just looking at me and talking to me and making sure that I understood. And I remember I got there, Joseph, my mentor, right? Because I went to Dallas, Joseph's my mentor. So as soon as they put me in that room, I text Joseph, I was like, help, I'm in the foreign exchange room. And he's like, sorry, Doc, can't help you till tomorrow. And so the following day, I told Joseph what happened, and he said to charge the stage again, and this time I'll walk right backstage. And I did, and I like it gets me. I'm sorry, I get a little bit emotional. It's so funny.
This is a life altering. There was a lot of tears shed at UPW. It happens.
No, it is. And I just remember like walking backstage, and I just started to cry because I was just so grateful that like I had that chance, because I knew that not everyone can have that chance. I was just
not even a little bit.
So I was incredibly grateful.
Wow, that is fantastic. It really, no, you can't. You're not getting back there. I think you can donate $2,000 to his foundation, and you can get a signed picture. You can get a picture with him after the event. But you're not like hanging out back there, and you're not just platinum partners, baby. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Exactly. So I am a huge fan of UPW, and my journey began. The second part of my journey began. 5.5 years ago. I was broke and frustrated. I moved back from Southern California with a duffel bag and my daughter. In 2008, the market had crashed. Everybody was broke. Everybody was losing everything, and I rode that sympathy wave, feeling sorry for myself for a couple of years. And I pulled myself out of it, or started to, in 2010. And I said, I'm going to go see Anthony Robbins. I'm going to go walk on fire. I'm going to unleash the giant that I know is hidden somewhere in here. So I called my friend Whitney up in San Diego, who's working for Tony at the time. And I said, hey, Whit, lay it on me. I want to go to UPW. It's in Long Beach, where I'm at right now. And it's this summer. I have no idea how I'm going to pay for it, how I'm going to get there, but I need the details so I can get it on my chalkboard, look at it, visualize it, see it, and I'll figure it out from there. So she gives me all the details. I write it all down, and she says, she calls me back an hour later. And she's like, oh my gosh, I forgot to tell you. My best friend lives in Miami, and she travels with Tony. She's on his core team of 6 people. You totally need to meet her, because you have similar personalities, and you guys would totally hit it off. Great contact for you. So she makes an introduction, and we chat on the phone that week. And I had shot a video for my consulting business at the time from my laptop in my living room. It was the worst video ever. But I showed it to her as a stranger, and she said, oh my gosh, you've got to start a YouTube channel. Like, your energy, the whole nine, you would totally just blow it up. And I'm like, well, great. What am I going to talk about? I do like real estate marketing. It's 2010. That's like a 4-letter word. And I said, she goes, well, what about social media? And I'm like, well, I've been screwing around on MySpace since 2004. A buzz around that, Social Buzz, a TV, SocialBuzzTV. I sent those 3 words to my designer and came back with what is now still to today, the SocialBuzzTV logo. And I started the business with just a logo. I didn't have a car. I didn't have any money. I had a skateboard, and I had an incredible babysitter, thanks to my sister. So full-time single dad, broke, frustrated, trying to get back to where I was before. Wasn't an easy task, but I knew that if you make enough noise, someone will come knock on your door. So you don't always have to launch a brand knowing what your revenue model is. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time. It took me 12 months to ride the bus around Miami, and act as if, and show up at events, and then start doing my own events. And then people said, well, wait a second, maybe you can help me out with my social media. And we're able to start the agency from there. And people started paying me to screw around on Facebook all day. And here we are 5.5 years later. I never made it to UPW, by the way, until 2013. My coach, Mina, said, Sebastian, I'm not letting you off the phone. She used to work for Tony for 4.5 years. She goes, I'm not letting you off the phone until you book the trip to Chicago. And I'm like, can't I just wait till he comes in February? Absolutely not. You're flying to Chicago. You're going. And I did that. And my first day, I shared this with you Saturday, my first day there, I had full day of traveling, and UPW starts Thursday at noon, but then noon until whenever Tony's done. And that could probably be, and the first day is the firewalk. So usually 1, 2 o'clock in the morning could be an early night. Well, by 10:45, I'm spent. I've been traveling all day. I'm exhausted. It's 40 degrees inside the room. You're freezing. There's no lunch breaks because you can't break 5,000 people and then get them back in a room in a timely fashion. So you're just eating granola bars nonstop. And by 10 o'clock, you're like, one more granola bar and I'm going to punch a baby. So I thought, what am I going to do here? So I called my fiance at the time and I said, I gotta get out of here. I'm starving. And she's like, I don't know what to tell you. You need to call Mina. Like that, she's the coach. I'm like, all right, cool. Thanks for your help. Got some clarity there. So I called Mina and she didn't answer. So I was like, well, easy. I might as well go back to my hotel room. And I get back to my hotel room. She calls me back. Hey man, how's it going? And she's been like play by play. Listen, here's what to expect. Here's what you're there. You're there to start what you finished. You're finish what you started, etc. Yada yada yada. And yes, Damien, you can post pics to Blab Chat now. I don't know how to do that, but when you tweet out "Tell a Little Bird," it sends gifs of this awesomeness right here. Anyway, back to the story. Look, girl. So
something shiny. Hurry! Look.
I know. Look. So I get back to my hotel room and I'm like, I'm cool. I'm scot-free. Now, I knew that I was going to miss the firewalk, and I knew that with that, it was enough to get there, right? It's an investment to go, especially if you're flying there and it's not local, right? So I thought I've got $2,000 into this weekend, but I'm hungry and I'm tired and I don't feel like it. And Mina called me back, and Mina's one of the very few people in this world that I have a trouble saying no to and that I'm a little scared of. And she said, so how's it going? And I said, oh my gosh, it's incredible. Tony came out. We're dancing. We're here. We're making our move. We're the whole nine. It's tears and laughter and anger, and it's just a shit show of emotion. It's awesome. And she goes, great. How's it going right now? I go, well, I'm beat. And I actually just got back to my hotel room. She said, what do you mean got back to your hotel room? It's 11 o'clock. You should be almost getting ready to go walk on fire. I'm like, well, we were prepping for the whole thing, and then had everybody laying on the floor, and the lights went out, and I'm like, I'm hungry. I gotta go. I gotta get out of here. And she's like, Sebastian, I don't understand. Like, I don't. What do you mean you left? Like, she couldn't wrap her head around this. Like, what do you mean you left? So I'm like, well, I don't know, because I can't tell her no. I mean, I can't be like, well, too bad. I'm tired and I'm going to bed. So I was trying to dance around all this, and she's like, listen, dude, here's what you're going to do. You're going to call the cab that just dropped you off, and you're going to be like, I need you to take me right back to where you picked me up from. And you're going to walk in that room, and you're going to finish what you started, dude, and that's it. And I thought, and she goes, I know you don't feel like it, but let me ask you a question. This was a shift right here. She goes, how many times on a daily basis do you say, I'm not going to do it because I don't feel like it? And what has that done for you? And where are you at I was 34 at the time. Where are you at? With all that, I don't feel like it. I'm like, oh, I'm already dialing the cab. So I get back to the convention center. We're in Chicago, and at the preparatory stage is starting to end. Like, you can't just go walk on fire. You've got to be prepped to do this whole program, as you've experienced. And everybody's, you start with the yes claps have begun. It's like 5,000 people in a room at 11 o'clock at night with all this momentum, and Tony Robbins, and yes, like you're just, I don't care who you are. You hear that and you're automatically like, yes. Yeah. So I get there. Everybody's got their pants rolled up, screaming yes, the whole nine. And everyone's getting ready to bail out of the convention center. And the firewalk is in the parking lot at most venues. And I thought, well, shit, let me get ahead of the game and get out to the parking lot. So I walk out there, and there's 8 rows of fire going and jungle music playing. And everyone's going, yes. And I'm like, yeah, so I'm posting a video of everyone going, yes, and I'm walking here, and Mina's like, what happened, dude? What happened? So I send her the video, and I get out there, and Tony's like, hey, I pick a line. I don't tell you what line it's going to be. Just get out there. You're not going to be able to get in my line or whatever. Just get in a line. We're trying to get this done in a timely fashion. 5,000 people walking on 8 lanes. You do the math. It's not the quickest process. So I get out there, and I get to the lane. I look over to my right, and there's a team member on each lane. I look over to the right. Who's the team member? My friend Dawn, the one that Whitney introduced me to 2 years ago. So she's been the one that's actually got me to UBW. So I'm already stoked that she's just right there and able to see the experience because she's lived the story. And then I turn after seeing her and getting all fired up, and I look over and then up, and I thought, that was, and I totally am like losing. I don't know what to say. Like, I don't know whether to hug him, or he got his security detail, so I don't know whether to like hug him or like jump on his back. And I didn't know what to do, but I'm like, okay, just remain calm and not go crazy, and let's not get starstruck. Let's just let him walk you across fire because you're walking across fire with Tony Robbins. So he walks like 5 people across, and I'm so amped and I'm done. The guy in front of me was the last one to walk with Tony. Security swoops him off. I'm trying to negotiate with the volunteer that's going to help me walk across fire. There are a couple details when you're walking across 500-degree coals that you need to pay attention to, but I'm trying to negotiate him going and grabbing Tony and security and bringing him back. And he's like, sir, it's not going to happen. So I made my way across the firewalk. I got done. I celebrated. I was stoked. And Mina was exactly right, because she said, Sebastian, if you go back and finish what you started, number one, you're not going to think about how hungry you are, how tired you are. You're not going to be lacking energy. You are going to be so amped. I'll be surprised if you even sleep tonight. And I'm like, okay. I got done. And as you know, and have experienced, the level of energy that I felt and the accomplishment that I felt of, so I'm texting. Now Mina's jumping on her bed back in Florida, amped, and it's 2:00 in the morning in Chicago, so it's like 3:00 in the morning in Florida, and she's just as jazzed as I am. And I get back to my hotel room, and I call her, and I said, "Great to talk to you at 3 a.m." She goes, "Sebastian, you finished what you started, dude. First of all, congrats." And I'm like, "This shit feels awesome to finish what you start. Like, it totally feels awesome." She goes, "Can you just sit at the edge of your bed real quick? And I want you to think about something real quick. And I don't want you to ever forget this. When your back's up against the wall and you're frustrated and you don't feel like it and you don't want to do it, remember that everything you need in order to do it, everything you need in order to get to where you need to be, is inside you. And don't ever forget that, because you proved that so true tonight. I'm beyond proud of you. I forgot to tell you about the sleep factor. It's 3 a.m. and you need to be up in 3 hours. So I'm going to let you go. So finish the rest of the week. Finish what you started. Love you. Proud of you. See you soon." And that was it. And then he came to Florida the following year, and I was like, that's it. I'm bringing my 12-year-old. So I brought my daughter with me. And if you have kids that are at least, I think 12 is a good age. They let them in at 10, but they take them out on Transformational Saturday. But 12 is a good age to get them in there, because the patterns start early with us. The stories start.
Hold on, I want to say something about that. By age 8, we know where, like, seriously, that is like a proven fact. By age 8, we know what we can and cannot do. So we start off as these, like, tiger kids, and then we turn into these scaredy cat adults that don't think that we can, jump out of a 9-to-5 job, that don't think that we can write a book, that we can be passionate, that we can live our dreams. And I can tell you that it's possible. Like, because it's hard to think about, like, oh, I definitely can do it. I can do it. Sometimes you just need to say to yourself, it's possible. It is possible. It's definitely possible.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was watching the these gifts are amazing, because you're all wah, wah, wah. I was watching the Pitbull special on CNBC a couple weeks ago. I don't know if you saw it or not, but try to find it somewhere, because it was incredible. And obviously, I'm a little biased because Pitbull's from the hometown of 305, Mr. Worldwide, but he legitimately came from nothing and built an empire that he's got now. And he said, one thing my kids taught me, that, Dad, even in the word impossible is the word possible, right? So, like, all these little simple things that we always forget to talk about and integrate. And he talked about that as well too. And it said, it's we can always consider what's unavailable and impossible is always available to think about and what's called, but also what is possible and what can be done is as well. I think we get so stuck in the story that we create. That story is nuts. What Damien said, we hired a sales manager to introduce that to the floor, and I stuck with it for a while. Oh, the yes clap we used to do in the sales room. Absolutely.
They used to call me the spark plug. By the end of my time at Medical Guardian, I will never forget it. Because, right, like, when you have a dream, you need to start telling people about it. Sebastian, I'm sure you agree. When you have a dream, like, you've got to be obsessed with it. I am obsessed with my dream. Like, I tell everyone about it. Like, I tell everyone how passionate I am about it. And I remember telling my boss, listen, I want to be a motivational speaker. This is what we're going to do. I want to be in the sales training right now. And he was like, okay. He's like, so what do you want to be called? Like, what will you do? I'm like, I'm going to have them slap their asses. Everybody, actually, Sebastian, do me a favor right now. Just stand up. On the count of 3, slap your own ass and try not to smile. 1, 2, 3.
That was amazing.
So it's impossible, right? Like, that's called a pattern break. And when you're in sales and you sit down for a while, trust me when I say that pattern break comes in handy. Okay, when you're getting screamed at and stuff like that, The
guy that brought me to California, I went to work for 15 years ago, is one of my best friends now and mentor, Damien Zamora. He's in the room here. Damien, go mobile. Damien used to just take my chair away from me. So there was no sitting down at all. It was like, I'm taking your chair. You close 3 deals, you can have your chair back, right? So that worked out. That worked out all right, actually. I'm like, keep the chair, dude. As long as my paycheck is there on Friday, you can keep the chair. So,
yeah. And standing like Superman. Like I would go into the meetings and have them stand like Superman because that raises your confidence 20% and it lowers your stress level 20% just by standing like Superman for 2 minutes. So like, I'll never forget when I walked into my boss's office, they were both standing like Superman. And I started crying because I'm thinking they're firing me because I'm under my desk doing my coaching calls, right? And they were like, your heart isn't in this anymore. We believe in your dreams. And I remember them saying, we'll pay you unemployment, no contest. We want to support you. And like, that was like for the first 3 months, they helped me with unemployment. Not that it's that much, but it's when you believe in something, you get others to believe in it with you, sure. Right, Sebastian?
That's all part of the universe conspiring to make it happen. Because there's individuals involved with that process, and they saw something that they shared the vision that you did, and you didn't think that they did. You thought that it would be, am I going to get fired? What's going to happen here? So incredible story, awesome story. It's brought us to current day now, and all of that has brought you to where you're at right now, which is the birth of Spark Your Rockstar. Let's talk about your business. Let's talk about what you're doing and how that story is now impact. Because our story is great, but if it's not changing other lives, it really is irrelevant. So,
really? Yeah, absolutely. So basically, Spark Your Rockstar is my business. It's my company. And the reason that it started, it's so funny because people always ask me, how did you come up with that name, Spark Your Rockstar? And really, it could be Spark Your Gratitude. I'm actually trademarking Spark Your. I know that probably sounds a little bit funny, but I am.
I was like, in Colorado, that could be a real popular theme. Yeah.
Yeah, right? And so like, so I'll share this with you guys. I'm an addict, right? And I used to go into NA meetings and I used to say, hi, my name's Carolyn and I'm an addict. But after Tony Robbins, I didn't want to classify I am such a powerful word that I didn't want to say I am an addict anymore. So I remember I was on this, it was an I Inspire call at the time. And I remember it was a Sunday call and I said, my name is Carolyn Rim and I am a rock star. I am a rock star. And everyone on the call just lost it. They were clapping, they were cheering, they were like, woo! So like the energy was high. And like, Sebastian, you know this, I jump on the phone with 30 to 40 people every morning and I take them through a gratitude meditation. I take them through a movement, like just get your heart rate up. When's the last time your heart rate was up? Okay. Sure. So like we would jump up and down. Like this morning we did Qigong and, I anchored them. Like I had them squeeze their fist and think about a time in their life when they felt really good.
Tokyo.
Calling Tokyo.
You know, I pinched my nipple and just screamed "Paging Tokyo." Yeah.
Oh yeah, it could be for anything. It could be, they want to, do some bad things themselves. Paging Tokyo, pat your head. Right. There's a lot of pattern breaks there. You're right. And my business, I just did a fire walk last weekend, and I got to hug every person that walked over the fire for the first time. It was so transformational. And I know there's a little bit of delay. I almost feel like dancing a little bit because there is a delay. Okay, good.
You're good.
Start busting out moves in here. But no, seriously, I love changing lives. And I know Frank's on, Frank Clark, Scott Burnside. There's like a lot of people on this call that I love. And there's just a lot of people out there that have supported me because I've supported them. I actually have helped people build communities. I've helped people transform their lives. And that is exactly what you're doing, Sebastian. And we're using, I use social media to build my business. So sure. I didn't have any money, right? No, I'm talking about no freaking money. I got back from Dallas and that was it. I put in my 2 weeks. I didn't want anything to do. I was like, I'm out, pieces, deuce. I remember I just was like, done. And within 1 week, I found a job making double. But it wasn't a lot of money still, right? And so I remember I spent 80 hours, Sebastian, learning how to code websites. And I built my own website because I couldn't afford a website designer. And then I remember I didn't have money for a venue to speak at, but I knew that I knew I was a motivational speaker. So I just said, okay, I'm going to have an event in Media PA and I'm speaking, $99 a ticket. See you there. 40 people bought tickets in 1 month. 40 people. And I didn't even have a venue. I just said a city. A week before the event, people were like, hey, Carolyn, we realized that there's no venue on here. And I was like, touche, my friends, touche. And so I'd say it was probably about 5 days before the event. my boss comes to me, and because I'd asked him, I said, do you have any vacant buildings anywhere in media? And he said he did. He did. So I had my event in a vacant building. It was amazing. Lots of transformation. And I shared my stories and my transformations. And there's 5 tips to being a rock star. And one of them is trusting yourself. Because if you don't trust yourself, no one else will trust yourself or trust you. Okay. I know you have to be able to get through the pain, and you have to be able to work your butt off. Like, that's so important, right? Like, you've got to be able to work your butt off. Muhammad Ali said in 1970s that, they were asked how many sit-ups he did a day. And he said he doesn't start counting until he starts to feel pain, because that's when he knows it really counts.
Sure.
So, I just believe that, if you can move through the pain and the stories in your head, like you said, Sebastian, anything is possible.
I agree. I absolutely agree. Michael Haynes, welcome to the show. You said you've got a story that we will not believe, and we love those kind of stories. So welcome to the show.
You are not going to believe this story. I met Tony Robbins in 97, 98. It was incredible.
He's great.
I went to Hawaii.
Wow.
It was 9 days that actually transformed my life. It was on the Big Island.
Oh, the Big Island of Hawaii. Yeah, absolutely.
And it was. I have not come down yet.
Wow. What year was that?
97, 98.
Wow. That's some long lasting energy, post event energy, huh?
No. Fast forward to today. What I'm doing today is I have my own company. I am a professional speaker.
That's awesome.
What I do is I go out and make a difference in people's attitudes towards the disabled.
Sure.
I'm carrying on Tony's legacy in my own work.
Yep. So you're integrating what you learned from Tony into what you're doing now for your job.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
It's incredible. And I cannot believe the energy that you two have for Tony. It's totally inspiring.
Is it? Well, thank you so much. And you're inspiring as well. Thank you so much for jumping on and saying hello. It looks like we all share the same energy for Tony, huh, Michael?
Oh my God, he is incredible. And I really want to connect with you two.
Please do.
Definitely.
Michael, can you send us both a tweet or find me on Facebook? And
find us on Facebook. Michael, I just wanted to say that it isn't, I almost cursed. I get passionate when I curse. It's an honor to be on a blab with you, sir. Seriously, you are a badass gentleman for jumping on. I feel you.
You're inspiring people to overcome their challenges with integrity, and that's what the world needs, Michael.
Woo!
By the way, I do have a webpage. It's michaeldhaines.com.
Let's
I'm going
type
to
that
check
in here.
that in. Michael D. Haynes. I'm going to type that in. And also, guys, I'm going to type in my community name. Michael, you should join this too. Spark Your Rockstar is a bunch of rock stars making it happen. So if you want to come make it happen and take action in your life, check out that Facebook group as well, please.
Don't worry, I will.
All right, awesome.
Hey, thanks so much for joining us, Michael. Have a great afternoon, buddy, and come back and see us, will you?
Definitely. Enjoy.
Thank you so much, Michael. So, Sebastian, real quick, I wanted to share that. That there was a woman at UPW with no legs, and it really helped me with. Have you ever had like a victim mentality? Have you ever looked at something in your life and been like, why me? Like, why does this always happen to me? He's like, yeah, that just like happened like a half hour ago. I was like, why me? No, seriously, we can go there. I can go there too. Like, why is this happening, right? And so I remember it was like the second day I was there, and it was something so little that happened. I don't know if it was I couldn't get on my phone or whatever it was. It was so little.
That's a crisis.
And so I got that mentality, right? And then I see this woman dancing right next to the stage. She's got no legs. She's dancing on nubs, and she's celebrating life. Now, I don't know about you, but I've never seen someone like that celebrate their life like that. And when Michael jumped on, I could tell his passion and his energy. So it reminded me of Sun Mary. That's her name, Sun Mary. And she continues to tell me I'm her hero, but really she's my hero. The challenges that they have to overcome are much greater than ours. So be grateful for where you are right now with legs, you know?
No, really. And it is the little things. In fact, it was, you know what it was? It was in the middle of the night. Or maybe it was early this morning, right before I'd gotten up. The hotel room was dark, so I thought there's like the light automatically comes on the floor, so you know where you're walking, but like then it goes off. Like so, I came out of the bathroom and it was pitch black. And in that moment, like 3 o'clock in the morning, I thought, I'm so grateful that I can see, because if you couldn't see, this is all you get is complete darkness. Obviously, their gift is in other ways other than being able to see. But in a moment of gratitude, I've been in this whole gratitude kick. Because I haven't been that grateful this year. So I went and hired a gratitude coach, because we got to turn that old ship around real quick. And I find myself more grateful for little things, whether it's, Jarek talks about that a lot too. When's the last time you just went outside and you're like, I am so thankful that I saw that flower that just bloomed, or I saw a bird, land and eat a worm or something, something like that. And gratitude does pay off. It makes me think of when we think of dancing. You said dancing is my good friend Sean Stevenson. I don't know if you've connected with Sean yet or not, but Sean's got a rare bone.
You have to connect me.
Oh, he's absolutely unbelievable. Sean Stevenson, SEAN, and Sean's in a wheelchair. He's got a rare bone disease, but probably one of the most incredible individuals that I've ever met, and funny and hilarious. I can't even begin to describe. But he just launched this brand new show called The 3 Foot Chef, and he's never cooked ever. His wife's cooked for him, and he's in a wheelchair, but he's got arms he can move around and whatnot, and he definitely uses those arms for his dance party. And these dance parties that he does on Facebook, he always says, and he's always like sticking his tongue out, but he'll see him and he like takes his shirt off and he's dancing, and he goes, sends to somebody that actually needs to see this. So if you haven't seen a Sean Stevenson dance party yet, hop in, say hello. We got a couple minutes left here, Frank. Oops, I locked the seat. Can't do that if I lock the seat. But yeah, if you haven't, let me see if I can find Sean.
Hey there, how are you?
Here so everybody can he's awesome. What up, Frank?
What's up, Sebastian? Thanks for having me on here.
Sure. Thanks for being on here. What do you do, Frank?
Nice to see you again, Carolyn. How you doing? Long time no see, right?
Yeah, he spoke at my event in August. I had Tony Robbins' son, Jarek Robbins, actually speak at my August event, which was called Rockstar Transformations, where 150 people came. Frank spoke, Jarek Robbins, myself, and several. Chris Voss, actually the lead investigator for 24 years.
Oh, he was amazing.
He was incredible. Oh God! I mean,
I learned so much from that man. That just seeing him was worth coming down there. He was incredible.
I liked him better. Sorry, I don't mean to say this. I liked him better than Jarek. Like Jarek's supposed to be like the main on-course, but Chris Voss, oh my God, right? He's an top investigator for 24 years. You want to talk about negotiations? I got pulled over by a cop, right? And I'll never forget, I went back into my mind to what Chris told me. He said, be honest with the cop, and I promise you won't get the ticket. Because I said to him, you're an investigator for 24 years. Give me the secrets. Come on, man. Right. And I remember the cop has me pulled over, and he's like, do you know why I pulled you over? And I was like, absolutely, officer. I was like, I made an illegal left-hand turn, and I'm an asshole. And the cop looks at me, and he's like, I'm going to give you a warning. He's like, give me a second. And I was like, oh my God, I called Chris. I was like, it worked.
That's true story. Carolyn. That's awesome.
True story.
Yeah, it's like, you have any idea how fast you were going? About 90, 95. I mean, I'm late, dude. Yeah.
I'll tell you a story. My uncle, great uncle, actually, my grandfather's brother was a big speeder, and he was driving up to Montreal, and he got pulled over because he was flying, doing 85 or 90, something like that. He gets pulled over. He was a cantankerous old guy, cop pulls him over and he says, I got to give you tickets for speeding. He says, well, you better give me 2 because I'm coming back this way.
It reminds me of the comedian Ron White. And, sir, are you drinking in public? Or like, well, I was drinking at a bar and then you brought me out in public.
I like that so much.
So thanks for jumping in, saying hello, Frank. Come back soon, will you?
What's that?
I said, thanks for hopping in and saying hello. Will you come back soon?
Absolutely. Yeah. I just gave you a follow on Twitter and I'll check you guys out. I saw Carolyn was on here. I felt like I had to jump in because we just did our first yesterday together.
Frank, I'm glad you did.
Got 8,000 people he takes care of on Facebook. He's actually the lead power team guy. Like he runs all the power teams for Tony Robbins.
Yeah, so I help mentor and coach people who are starting power teams in different cities. So people who get inspired and get turned on at the Tony Robbins seminar. I started my first power team, the New York Power Team, back in 1993 after I went to UPW. And it's helped me connect with so many people in that community. And so when I jumped back into it 5 years ago, I was like, you know what? This is going on separately in different cities, but nobody's talking to each other. So I started a group to connect all the leaders of power teams. And then I've been working with some of the other leaders, and we mentor people to start power teams in new cities around the world so that they can connect with like-minded people. And hopefully we can all connect with each other.
And that is Tony Robbins' vision, correct?
Most of the people are Tony Robbins based, but we've opened it up to any transformational type of community. So whether it's a T. Harv Eker or a Rich Dad, Poor Dad, or whoever it might be, we're welcoming to anybody who's looking for transformation and business growth and personal growth, fitness growth, whatever it might be. So we've got people who are, marathoners or cross-country runners. We've got people who are relationship experts, and it's just great cross-fertilization of, because anybody who's like, great, you're trying to make it in business, but you want to make sure that your marriage doesn't suffer or that your fitness doesn't suffer. So it's nice to have that group of people who are at the cutting edge of each of these different disciplines, and it cross-fertilizes the learning. It keeps you on your toes because you might think, oh, I'm killing it in business, but, I'm letting my health go to crap, or I'm letting my relationships go to crap. So,
hey, Frank, what marriage, Frank?
What's that?
What marriage are we talking about here? Hey, girl.
I'm married.
Come on, Sebastian. Let's do a wave on the screen. Ready? 1, 2.
Oh, wait, this way. We're talking about. How do you do it?
I wanted to try the blab high five. So, if Sebastian, if you could just reach down to the bottom of your screen, I'll high five you to the top. You ready? Now reach down like you're high. No, down toward me.
Oh, that actually worked. Oh, look at that, Frank. I like that.
I can't reach Carolyn, but.
Okay, ready, Sebastian? 1. No, to the side.
The other way.
To the side. Other way. There you go. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Carolyn, you got to go the other way.
All right, ready? A little patty cake. Little blab patty cake out. Wow, I'm like, the brain hurts trying to figure out which.
Frank, thanks so much for jumping in. This is awesome.
Guys, good luck. I'll follow you. I'll watch out for you guys.
Hey, Frank, 11 years ago, if you said you were following me, I'd call the police. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, definitely find me on Facebook. I want to stay in touch with you, dude.
Right,
Thanks
cool.
for jumping on. I appreciate you, man.
All right, take care.
All right, so we are almost out of time. What a great show. We'll definitely have to I'll get you a copy of the archive so we can get that distributed out to some of those power teams online. I know I'm part of the UPW group of South Florida, and I know Tony's team has just arrived in South Florida for the next few months. And they've reached out to figure out how to get some buzz going with being in the area through March when Tony's going to be here. So I'm stoked to connect with those guys because, as you know, you don't go to work for Tony Robbins unless you are an exceptional human being, and you've got an incredible heart, and and you share his vision. He's been changing lives for over 30 years, and that's proof enough. You may call it the Kool-Aid, you may call it the rah-rah, but I think the people that refer to personal development like that are the ones that need to be there the most. But that's not my problem. But I would invite you to go. I do strongly suggest it. If you're within the vicinity of South Florida in March, I highly suggest come on down. It's beautiful in South Florida. In March, I'll show you around town, get you a Cuban coffee, and we'll go because I need more coffee and stuff. We'll go to UPW. I'm actually going to go my third time, I think.
Oh, I'm definitely going to March. Oh, no freaking question. I'll be in the front row. Miami. I'll be there, baby.
Absolutely. Looking forward to that. Well, it is 11 a.m. here and
2 p.m. Eastern time.
2 p.m. Oh, it is. We're just getting started. I have to check this view out here before we look at this. Hold on, see if we can see here. Look at this. Check this out. So
I want to see the view, and then I got to rock and roll. Oh my God. So, look at your view.
So that's the Queen Mary over there. And then you've got this whole program here. And then, and then we powwow. And this is the BNI Miami suite. And we make some magic happen here, including shooting the show, etc. All right, cool. Well, let's get our outro music going here so we can get things going and off to a good start. I'm going to get my day started, and you're going to continue your afternoon, you little rock star. Thank you so much for joining us. Make sure that you put your links in there.
Okay.
Carolyn, so everyone can stay in touch with you. Send me a tweet if you didn't happen to see it. And I saw Carolyn on your show. I want to connect with her. Hit me up. Find me on Facebook, etc. And that's basically it. Let's see if we get some. I love this song. Are we allowed to use this music?
I love you, Scott Burnside. Love you, Sebastian.
I love you more, Carolyn. So remember this, guys, and I'm gonna leave you with this. Whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. Thank you so much, Carolyn. Mwah, you're amazing.
Mwah, I caught your kiss. Bye.
All right, guys. Well, that does it for this week's episode of the Social Media Suck Show. I'm your host, Sebastian Rusk, signing off from my temporary studio here in Long Beach, California. I'd love to connect with you. Drop me a tweet at Seb Rusk. Find me on Facebook, and let's stay in touch and let's stay connected. Be awesome today, and put a bow tie on.